Yesterday was May 9th. In Russia and Belarus, this day is called Victory Day. I want to explain to you, the people of America, how this day has changed and why millions of Ukrainians now see it in a completely different light. First, the scale. The United States of America lost about 400,000 people in World War II. That is an enormous number. Each life is an entire world. During the course of the conflict, the Soviet Union suffered the staggering loss of 27 million people. Out of those 27 million lives cut short, approximately 7 million were individuals from my own home country, which is the nation of Ukraine. Every fourth person in the Soviet Union, every fourth, was wounded or killed. Every family lost someone, every single one. That's why May 9th was never just a state holiday. It was a day of remembrance, a day of tears, a day of the dead. When I was a very small child, about 40 years ago, I remember perfectly well what that day looked like. Old men, veterans with medals, quiet courtyards, flowers, old photographs. Almost every single seasoned veteran would likely say this one specific phrase: as long as there is no war. This is an incredibly significant and vital phrase, because individuals who have been through a truly devastating conflict, they don't romanticize it, they fear it. And then Putin came to power in Russia, and he simply, quickly began to change the meaning of this day. He turned a day of mourning into a state ideology, a new political religion. Instead of remembering the tragedy, people were sold a cult of strength, a cult of the army, a cult of eternal war with the whole world. With each passing year, there was less and less about the fallen, and more about the military might of the state. Huge columns of tanks, missiles, other military equipment, parades. Children in military uniforms march as early as 3 years old. And the same slogan over and over again. We can do it again. Just think about it. The generation that actually lived through the war used to say, as long as there is no war. Putin popularized the famous slogan, we can do it again, as a rallying cry. He took the devastating memory of 27 million souls who perished and turned it into an unrelenting call for a brand new war. And then came the year 2014. Russia started a war against Ukraine. Furthermore, the various individuals who arrived upon our native land, carrying dangerous weapons, were all seen wearing those distinctive orange and black ribbons. In Soviet times, these ribbons were a symbol of remembrance for those who died in World War II. But back in 2014, those very same commemorative ribbons, those same symbols, suddenly became the primary symbols of the Russian army attacking us and killing our people. Now, just imagine for a moment if someone put on an American flag and proceeded to forcefully seize the territory of Canada with weapons in hand. I think that would break something inside every American. That's exactly what happened to the memory of the war for millions of Ukrainians. The symbol of victory over Nazism became the symbol of a new Nazism. That's why Ukraine no longer celebrates May 9th. It is not because we have somehow forgotten the legacy of our grandfathers, and it is not because we have stopped deeply respecting our veterans, but rather it is because Vladimir Putin has cynically turned their sacred memory into a powerful political weapon for his own ends. Once, on May 9th, leaders from all over the world used to come to Moscow. There was one time when 70 world leaders attended, because it was a shared memory of humanity's victory over evil. And today, at the parade in Moscow, Putin is sitting there, the president of Belarus is sitting there. And he asks the journalists' cameras with a hurt expression, why does no one come to our parade anymore? Is there really only fascism in the whole world? Has the world suddenly become fascist to them? No. It's just that the world has seen what they have turned this day into. The memory of 27 million dead has been turned into fuel for a new war. And that is the most frightening thing. Not the parade, but the fact that the memory of people who died with the words, if only there would be no war, is now being used to keep the war going. The slogan of my channel is, there are more good people. I believe in that. Let's not let these people forget what our grandfathers really died for together. See you tomorrow.